Welcome everyone to Discourse. Today we're going to be discussing Wet My Hands by Albert H. Yurvati. Dr. Albert H. Yurvati is an emeritus professor at the University of North Texas Health Science Center, Texas College of Osteopathic Medicine. He grew up in Allentown, Pennsylvania, and left for the U.S. Army where he met his soulmate, Sharon. After medical school, he completed 2 residencies and was an academic cardiothoracic surgeon of national and international renown. When Sharon suffered an acute thrombotic stroke, he transitioned to become a caregiver. In 2020, he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma, an incurable cancer of the bone marrow, and he transitioned yet again, this time to a patient. Wet My Hands traces the influence the fates have had on weaving, cutting, and tying the threads of his life. The book resonates with humor, history, and passion. So this is a biography memoir, and Dr. Yurvati is super interesting. I feel like he's gone through so much in his life. He is, for him to be a doctor, I feel like he's a very good storyteller. So his writing style throughout the book, I actually really enjoyed. The book is really short, which is nice because it's just a really quick read, but it's short yet filled with like so much information. His writing style, he's like very just to the point. There's not much fluff to all his writing, but
at the same time,
so interesting, intriguing. It keeps your attention. You actually want to keep reading more about him. I enjoy personally just reading about people and, learning about them, understanding their backgrounds and what they're, what they've done in their life. It's almost like a living history of someone that you never would have known. And for some reason, to me, that's super interesting. And he's done so much. So,
that's
gone
true.
through so much.
Especially for doctors. Because usually we see doctors and we just assume they go through school, they go through college, medical school, they do their residencies, and then that's it. And they're just doctors for the rest of their life.
Yeah, and they're just like these super smart people that just help people.
Yeah, they don't do much. Just work 50, 60 hours a week or whatever, doing medical stuff.
No.
But not this guy. And it's, what is it? Yurvati with O, I believe. Right?
Oh,
Because
yeah.
apparently there was like a family dispute back in the day. So one of the uncles, cousins, whoever they were, they changed their last name slightly by one letter.
Yeah.
And to separate themselves. And they even have their own their own cemetery plots.
Yeah.
And like even in death they're still separate.
Yeah.
So it's interesting just listening to that story or reading it. And yeah, he's very descriptive. But like you said, without all the fluff, and he gets to the point, but you get so much where you could actually envision and get to experience life through his storytelling.
Yeah, it's almost like you're just sitting down and having a real conversation with him. And he's just telling you, like, this is what I did. This is what I experienced. This was my upbringing and all of my choices and decisions I've made throughout my life to get me to this point.
More interesting, I think, because he was always told as a young kid that he wasn't going to amount to anything. He wasn't smart enough. He always got, what did he get, D's?
Right.
And that was like the sign of the devil or something, because he went to Catholic school growing up, and I honestly thought it was the name of the school, but I guess it's just how he called the nuns, right?
Yeah.
Was it the Sisters of
No Mercy?
Sisters of No Mercy.
So this Catholic school, they had nuns teaching the kids, and from stories that I've heard from multiple people, the nuns were very strict, right? So that's part of the humor that we were kind of talking about, calls them the Sisters of No Mercy. I kind of feel like, I hope that was their true name. They just took ownership of that name. It was like, we show no mercy to you children. I don't know. But that was super funny. And that was the very beginning. So it really sets the tone for the book. You're like, oh, this guy's really funny.
Yeah. It's pretty funny just because he told us a lot, and this was maybe just a
chapter. Yeah, it was not even a page.
Yeah,
it was just a chapter.
Yeah, because these nuns, they were very aggressive. They told you straight up. They told the parents, your kid's dumb. I don't see him going anywhere, so might as well be join the priesthood.
And he's like, but I like girls. I can't do that.
Yeah.
I can't join the priesthood.
There's a lot of different events in his life. Like he was, I forgot what it's called, but he was assisting in a mass where he was holding...
An altar boy.
Mm-hmm. And he tripped and he bent the chalice. He dropped all the, everything that goes on in the communion, I believe. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh yeah, definitely going to hell. Another time, oh yeah, going to hell again. Yeah. One time nuns came over to talk to the parents and the dad got the nuns drunk.
Oh my God, so funny. I love that.
Another going to hell moment.
I love his mom's reactions. Like, don't tell anybody Dad got the nuns drunk. Okay.
Like, she was a good host, but when they left, they're like, you kids better not talk or you're going to get whooped. And he talks about that too. Getting spanked, getting whooped by the parents. Back then, that's how it happened. But it was because him and his brothers, like, they even put a doobie on a statue of Jesus. Yeah. And the mom saw it and the whip came out. Yeah, and being in a Catholic school, they had, like, their Friday, like, keg days or beer days or whatever. They had a friend that used to go on beer runs and they would smoke doobies, weed, and some other drugs.
Young boys. What else are you going to do? Yeah. That's just what young boys do. Mm-hmm. But I just love how they were like, he's just not smart and he's not going to be anything. When in reality, he was, you can be a smart person, right? And just not maybe test well in school or what have you. You could still be a smart person. And obviously that's what, comes to fruition is just him becoming this amazing doctor. He
went with the flow as a kid.
Yeah.
I think throughout life, even as a doctor.
I really got from his writing style that he's just super easygoing and just kind of like, yeah, man, I'm just here to enjoy life and to help people and experience life.
I guess growing up where he did, it was either join like the factories or work at the Mack truck, warehouse, which he even had it's funny because everything he mentions, there's always a little history about it.
Oh, I love that.
But not too much. About George Washington back in the Revolution, he lost the battle.
Right.
So he was scared that the British or whatever were going to steal the bells, melt them down and make cannons, make bullets, whatever, to fight back use them against them. So Washington ordered the bells to be taken down and hidden like under some church or religious
in that town.
In that town. And I was like, well, that's really interesting.
Yeah, in the town that he grew up in. I thought that was super cool, actually. I was like, wow. And that was like, what, maybe like a paragraph? And I was like, man, that's super cool.
He gives you like the dates, the specifics, the location. Then he moves on.
Yeah, and he moves on. And it's like a natural conversation that he's having with you, right? It's almost like, it's like he kind of knew what we wanted to ask or say. And then he goes on to like the next thing. And it's all, I feel like it all really flowed really well too.
But back to family. So his dad was in the army, I believe. Went to Puerto Rico, met his mom there, got married, and, moved her back to the States. And it's very interesting just how he also mentions how he was born. His dad loved to fish.
I know.
He was always fishing. They even turned like their gutter or something in the house into like a worm farm.
Yeah.
And at first I was thinking like...
where they kept the coals or something for the fires. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the heater back in the day.
Yeah, there you go.
And I was thinking, like, why are they farming worms? He's like, yeah, they were fat and juicy. And then he threw it in as I was thinking that question. Because my dad left to take him out to the river, to the lake, and fish for trout or whatever. Yeah. He took his mom, out there, left her in the car while he went out fishing. Then he heard some screaming and he saw a cough, so he ran back to the car. He's like, what's going on? She was going into labor in the car while the dad was fishing. Oh my God. And that's how the doctor was born. How he came into this world.
There you go. What an entrance.
A lot of interesting facts. A very quick, short book, but we got a lot out of it. Then he met Sharon, his wife, who played a big part in his life.
Yeah, and I love how this book, too, is like almost like a love letter to his wife. It's so cute.
It's kind of weird. It's like, not love at first sight, but kind of...
It definitely was something at first sight.
Oh, yeah. He enjoyed it, working with her.
He was like, that girl right there, that's the one. Yeah. That's it.
And he even joked with his buddies in high school that he was going to join the military, come back married to a California girl. Which he did.
Yeah, he did. He did. Exactly.
But he met her in Texas.
Right.
And it was just...
It worked out.
Yeah, it was interesting just how their lives collided.
Right.
And she helped him out a lot because he got into the university and he was struggling with classes. But she's like, why are you enrolled in the College of Business or something? And he switched schools and then straight A's.
Right.
And then he got in his path. He got accepted to multiple residencies. And just since then, Sharon has always been with him, and both together helping each other out and just going with the flow. And regardless of what happens, they were there for each other, and that's rare.
Yeah, like finding strength in one another and finding purpose through one another, right? It's kind of amazing. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys, and make sure to check out Wet My Hands by Albert H. Yurvati.